So why doesn't Spain just stop dithering and put in a bailout request? That's the question addressed by Reuters Breakingviews editor Hugo Dixon this week. He joins me now. You just got back, Hugo, from Madrid. I guess the thing that jumped out at me is that you no longer feel this is misplaced pride on the part of the Prime Minister. It's something much deeper than that. What is it? Look, I think there are four possible explanations. One is his pride. One is the need for to get through these Galician elections that are coming up later this month, which is his home region, and they will probably have to do something to pensions as part of this, to get the bailout deal, and that wouldn't go down well in Galicia. And if they lose Galicia, that would be a terrible blow to him. Those are sort of two domestic reasons. But actually, I think those are not the main reasons. The main reasons seem to be two others. First, what exactly would the ECB do if Spain asked for this bailout? There's only one way of finding out, right? I don't think Draghi's going to sort of give him a clue ahead of time, is he?
Well, Draghi is clearly not. Rajoy is clearly not going to ask Draghi because it's almost like it's not the way that things are supposed to be done.
So we're back to
and
pride.
Draghi will clearly not tell Rajoy if he asks. There is a question of whether or not Draghi or someone close to Draghi might give a clue to someone close to Rajoy and through signalling somehow give them some sort of indication, which I think they probably can get some sort of signal about it, where are you sort of positioning yourself. And the key issue there is really, is the ECB happy just sort of capping Spanish yields at 6% or just below 6%, which is where they are at the moment, or would they be happy to go in and drive them down 5 to say 4.5 or something, which is perhaps what would be needed to really create a virtuous circle.
And then, of course, the other big variable is Germany.
Yeah, and in
fact, what Merkel wants to do.
Yes, and that I think is the bigger reason for this dithering, which I must say I think is very bad. It's very bad for Spain, and it's very bad for the Eurozone. They should just get it over and done with. But you have to deal with the realities. And one of the realities is that there is increasing bailout fatigue in Germany. It's only a few months ago that Merkel had to go to the Bundestag, and that's the German parliament, and persuade them to push through this 100 billion, or it's actually not going to be 100 at the end of the day, but the bailout for Spain's banks. Now to come back so soon afterwards and say we need to have another big bailout, because remember, although this programme, the ECB programme, where it would really be effective is by the ECB buying bonds, the ECB has made it contingent on approval by the governments, and in Germany's case that means going back to the German parliament.
When did you get back?
Friday.
So you were there when the EU won its Nobel Peace Prize?
Well, no, I was flying back when the Nobel... Yeah.
I want to get a sense from you of what it was actually like on the streets, the type of people you met, whether they feel things are getting worse or whether there is some
light at
the end of the tunnel.
The general sense I got, and I go there every sort of, maybe 4 to 6 months I go to Spain, but the general view I got is that people are less optimistic than they were, and that's for several reasons. One, it's because of the recession is just grinding through its worst, this austerity spiral, it's just worse than people expected it would be. The second reason is that the hope in the new government it's not completely disappeared, but it's evaporated. Because, I mean, like a year ago, everyone was saying, yippee, we're going to have a new prime minister, he's going to change things. 6 months ago, they were saying, well, we've got a new prime minister and he's doing some things. Now, I mean, it's astonishing. If you look at these opinion poll ratings, I mean, how...
And he's a bad communicator, isn't he?
He's a terrible communicator. He has these Friday cabinet sessions where they take decisions, and he doesn't even brief. He doesn't even tell the country what's doing. He leaves it to one of his deputies.
And is there, just to finish up, you talk about the less optimism. What about the new
word from the IMF and others, and on the back of Italy reducing income tax, Lithuania voting in a non-austerity government. I mean, is there this optimism that actually they may pull back on the austerity a little bit?
I don't think that there is. I think that there is a feeling that they won't push yet more austerity on top. But, I mean, even if they continue to miss their targets, and they will, I mean, you know, they're trying to hit 6.3% deficit, fiscal deficit this year. Most people I spoke to think it's going to be 7%, 7.5%. So they probably won't add another round of austerity. However, you've still got the problem. The reality is you've got $207 billion of debt they have to sell next year. And you've got to persuade the markets to buy it. So, and you can't just endlessly go up and up and up. I mean, it looks to me that Spain's debt level is going to hit 100% of GDP. As soon as investors start, not immediately, probably in about 2015, as soon as the investors really start focusing on that, they could get very scared.
Hugo, many thanks. Where are you going next?
Italy.
Good. We'll talk about Italy soon. Probably be saying similar things as well. Thanks a lot, Hugo Dixon, editor of Breakingviews. That's it from me. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.